Welcome to Solartronic line is provided as follows. Video 1, Preliminary Layout and Site Surveying. It illustrates the following topics: remote assessment and preliminary layout, fire setbacks, rooftop site plan and structural assessment. Video 2, Structural Code and Mount Engineering, illustrates the following workflow. Working with building departments. Loads and structural variables. Array footprint and rafter loading. Optimizing mounting system design then. Electrical equipment layout. And finally, Video 3, Design Assistance software, that illustrates basic and complex project scenario. Here's the introduction video.
Hello and welcome. In this course we will be walking through the design process for pitched roof solar arrays and showing you how to use the Iron Ridge Design Assistant to streamline this process. Okay, let's get started. When we say the word roof, we often think of a single thing, but a roof is much more. It is a system made of many components that together perform these key functions: weatherproofing, fire resistance, and structural strength. And then we add solar to the roof. The array needs to support the same loads as the roof did, while also keeping the roof weatherproof, fire resistant, and structurally sound. And of course, we're also adding sophisticated electrical equipment intended to generate electricity. This equipment can be hazardous if set up incorrectly, so electrical safety now becomes a vital function of a solar roof. It's up to the solar designer to ensure the solar roof performs well, while accounting for all these different factors. Everything from the impact of geography on solar insolation and temperature ranges to the implications of different roof types on the install cost. While the incorporating of all these factors can seem daunting, the right process can make the impossible become possible, and maybe even easy. So we're going to walk you through a basic design process that will help you balance all of these considerations. Every company organizes their process a bit different, but today we are going to walk through an approach that leverages free technology and basic resources to create a precise system design. This starts with building a preliminary layout using satellite imagery, then validating details with a site survey, then cross-referencing codes and engineering factors prior to completing your permit package for submission. Let's get started with site assessment and preliminary layout. The easiest way to prepare a preliminary proposal for a customer is often through a remote survey, using aerial or satellite imagery to determine the available roof space and build a layout that captures the quantity and location of modules. Using Google Earth's imagery, then transferring this information into a Google SketchUp format is a free and relatively easy way to do this. There are also more advanced software tools that provide everything from higher resolution imagery to automatic shade analysis and other convenient features. However, most of these tools are not free, so we won't be going into them in this lesson. When using free satellite imagery, keep in mind that you won't have precise information about roof dimensions and obstructions, nor the condition of the building. Therefore, preliminary layouts will need to be refined later through an on-site survey. One other tip worth mentioning is that determining roof pitch and identifying obstructions can be quite hard from satellite images, but street view images can be a useful cross-reference, especially if you're planning to put arrays on the front of the home. Okay, so let's jump to the next step. Here is a preliminary layout we created in Google SketchUp for free. This layout shows a nice open roof section, and the array layout is as simple as could be. Unfortunately, this is not something we see very often in the real world. Typically, we will have to accommodate obstructions, shade sources, setbacks, and other factors that add design complexity. For example, most homes have at least one chimney and many pipe vents. And since we can't run a chimney through a module, we'll need to either move or remove modules to maintain appropriate clearance around the obstructions. Being a larger and taller obstruction, chimneys cast shadows that require more clearance from nearby modules, compared to a small obstruction. Even if you're not concerned about shadows due to the orientation of the array or the use of module-level power electronics, chimneys still require maintenance and cleaning over time, so providing walking clearances is important. The same is true of rooftop AC units, powered vents, and other equipment. For pipe vents, we are less concerned about shading and about regular maintenance, so we only need a few inches of clearance. As well, when we get to the mounting system design, we might even consider running the rail through this area, but we'll get to that later. Now that we have pulled a few modules from the design to deal with chimneys and vents, let's figure out how to re-add them so our overall production goal isn't affected. If we add two modules here on the right side of the array, the modules run into the roof valley. But because we only need a few inches of clearance for the vent, we can slide that row left, staggering the modules and allowing the most space to be utilized. Now, we still need to add more modules to hit our production goal. If we want to stick with the same roof face, we might start looking at the space above the array. Adding another row of modules in portrait orientation would add a lot of system capacity, but the top row will overhang the ridge, which is not code compliant. Turning the top row to landscape, however, allows us to fit almost as many modules, but in a way that stays under the ridge and is code compliant. So that's our preliminary layout. It hits our production targets, and it avoids conflict with known obstacles. But before we finalize it, let's check to make sure we are in compliance with the required fire setbacks.
Thank you for watching this introduction video. Part 2 and Part 3 will follow after you subscribe, like and share this free video. We will then send you the video link. These videos are also supported with an in-depth theories on our solar photovoltaic course. If you are interested to take this course, please indicate it in your subscription, or send us a message in Facebook. Once again, thank you for watching.